When he started talking against Zionism, boy, the world unleashed on him. They burned down his houses in Mississippi. They did all kind of stuff. And a few people on the radio, they mentioned, when Kaepernick started doing that, well, they can do that now. When Mahmoud did it, let's say 20 years ago, 25 years ago, hey man, you ain't standing up for the flag? You know, and I don't know how much other people make, but each game he played, I think somebody told me he would get about 31,000 per game or something. That's not bad, you know. People now get more, but that wasn't bad. Look at the slowness. Now you can say anything you want. They got the players and the team owners saying, yeah, we got to fix that, you know. And they talking, it's all money. And, you know, Black Lives Matter. Well, remember, we went to all of those things. And I heard the other day, it was on the RT radio. They were saying yesterday, it's terrible that the people doing all those demonstrations, they didn't have an agenda. They didn't have the dialogue. Did you hear that? I said, man, these people is dirty. That's what we was down there telling them. Exactly everything we've been telling them. Now the brainiacs, which are government, and anyway, they say the same thing we say, but it's 10 years behind, 2 years behind. Every sports owner in the world wanted to tell everybody, yeah, take a knee, you know, take an elbow if you want, just prostrate, whatever you want to do, go ahead, it's okay. We with you. That's what they do nowadays. The people are hypocrites, and all kind of insane stuff is going on. We don't have to solve the black problem. That ain't going to help nothing. We have to solve humanity. And not only it's a human problem. Now, the human being have to solve the animals' problems and everything because, see, we have authority over them. That's what we have to do. So anyway, I hope that answered the question, but, you know, all of us started off as, remember I talked about the movement, it was Freedom Rise, it was civil rights, you know, black power, black liberation, you know, and all of that, and then Islam. That is the natural progress that we went through here. But today, we have to solve all humanity's problem. That has to be our goal. So iced tea and all of them, plus after you drink all that iced tea out there in California, you start doing commercials. Wasn't he doing an insurance commercial or something about his cars? You know how I like my cars? Yeah, I've seen it. Anyway, are there any more questions? And I excuse, my daughter wanted to make it, but she has she just had an operation not long ago. It's a little Crohn's type thing, so she couldn't make it. So, no more questions or comments? Yes?
When you wrote the point about the old biodegradable civilizations that were, like, when they had the big buildings, they used to like crumble down and go back to the earth, and now we got the ones that like stay up and just
Yeah,
around.
right.
Well, I read an article like a couple of days ago about someone at Stanford, a researcher. He's basically like creating bricks that are stronger than concrete out of fast-growing mushrooms. Like, I just wanted to know, like, how likely do you think that, like, that's something that's going to be adopted or even considered?
Okay, those things, they got a lot of things that they can build right now that is tougher than concrete. They got puff stuff they can blow in a thing, you know what I mean? And they got buildings, they could foam it up, go and put a little structure up and foam it up, You know what I mean? To have a place for the windows and all that, and psst, and the whole building will be up. It'll be a foam, airtight building and strong as anything. They got all kind of stuff like that. But our thing is that the world that we live in today, it has to be a mass movement by the overwhelming majority of the society to make the world a good place to live in. And that will come from the people in cooperation. And we'll probably have to do it individually away from governments, because the governments are already established. They don't want you to have a new world. They want their government. So the people are going to have to be very bold. They're going to have to stop for a while asking the government to help the problem. The government, they're ready to sell all the stuff up in Alaska right now. Yeah. So they can go up there and drill. And you see the TV, the poor polar bears walking down a long stretch, ain't got nothing to eat hardly, ain't got no ice to lay on. Hey man, these people, was it 70 something degrees in the Arctic this year? In the Arctic Circle, the Arctic. And in Greenland, to me, I'm not afraid of all of that stuff, like they ran that scare tactics when we was kids about atomic bombs and all that, and they told us to duck and cover. Can you imagine a 5 or 10 megaton bomb dropping in your city? If a 5 megaton bomb drop here, that means it's a fireball 5 square or circular miles around. And that means it's going to turn people in the shadows all the way up, and I don't know how far away. And then they tell the dummies, me and you, duck and cover under a wooden desk, right? That's what they do. They did. All us in our age, they used to tell niggas duck and cover. But they scared everybody to death. We're not going to allow this pollution talk and all of that to frighten us, although it's uncomfortable looking at what they're doing. But we're going to face up to our responsibility, inshallah. Any other questions? I hope I halfway answered, but they got tons of new technology that they can do. The new world we're talking about, they can build it right now, physically. But what about the human being? You know, that means we have to change ourselves, taskiya bil nafs, and we have to have a system that perpetuates goodness, a system that perpetuates equality. The system in itself perpetuates goodness and equality. That the goal of the system is to do good, right? Like technically the goal of the government should be to make your life easier and better. Now, how's that for a government? That's what a government should do. It should use its authority and its power to help the citizen to live a better life, right? That's the purpose of a government that deals with the community, or the earth has too many people now, you know, just to self-regulate. So we need good governance that pushes to its goal is to push good. Any more questions or comments? Yes?
I want to know, like, what would you recommend for like the youth to do, because they're growing up about to be independent on their own, and what would you advise them to do?
Well, to get a Harry Houdini or somebody to move in to have a Harry Houdini or something. Y'all remember who Harry Houdini? Okay, he was a magician and stuff like that. But no, other than that, the thing is that's exactly what we're working toward. is getting people involved. We don't have any excuses, but you do know probably that everything that we get involved in, somebody pulls it loose. It's We're going to solve that problem, but it's not going to be today, because the Quran just told us never think that these people are going to be successful. Right? So we have hope. After every ayat where they predict evil taking over, there's another ayat following it right up. That don't think this system is going to defeat good. So what you said was true, was about getting people involved, and also getting people a mission or a role. Why are you here? Are you here to watch Disney all day? Are you here to get a super duper phone and sit there watching that thing all the day? People don't look up. People walk right into traffic. Bam! Right? Looking at that phone. They trip over things. They fall over backwards on stuff, just looking at the phone, pushing buttons. In fact, I think that's the culture. Right? So one thing we can put hope and energy and salvation. We'll turn into a video game or something. Where you just do good, and you have to sit there and do good all day, stuff like that. But reality, we have to give our young people a vision. Without a vision of where they're going, what the purpose is. Yes.
No, that's right. That's right.
Greetings. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn.
No, go ahead.
I'm an educator in Prince George's County.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
And when you talk about the youth and giving them an opportunity, there is a system that is in place that sets them behind.
Yes.
I teach 6th and 7th grade English. And to be proficient in Prince George's County, for a 6th grader to be considered proficient in English for 6th grade, which means he or she reads on a 4th or 3rd grade level. That is proficient. That is a system that is designed for Prince George's County youth to always be behind. Because how can you be proficient if you are considered, proficiency means you are 2 grades below your level. Advanced means you are on your level. That is a system that is in place to keep our youth in the distance.
Well, we had a school here for 10 years, and it was called group home school. Every kid that was here, some university, some have graduated already, and every child that left here was about 2 years ahead of everybody else. Some 3 years. Some of them didn't even, when they left here in the 8th grade, they were so far ahead of everybody out in, it took them years for the system, that's how low the educational system is here. And you talked about reading. We know that reading comprehension is the main for studying, for acquiring knowledge. If you have bad reading comprehension, you won't know what you're reading. You just won't know. In technical and everything is based on reading comprehension, probably above mathematics. Above mathematics. So we understand that how the system works and always have worked, especially for black people. But we're not gonna beat ourselves because we're not able to solve the world's problems. Because the book, the Quran tells us, you know, Allah is talking to the Prophet, that your job is to proclaim and to teach and train the people, and it's Allah's job to call them to account. So what that means is, when we have these little programs like this, that's part of our job. Then we move to a higher level of excellence and organization. And the other thing, if you survive long enough, you know, the things that we do haven't nobody even survived. Because when boss man hit anybody 1 or 2 times, he gonna drop. You know, you know, I don't know if that means anything. But so, I agree with you. The thing, sometime vision, if you don't know what you're going to do, where you're going to do, why you want to do it, and none of that, then you don't have no reason for reading. You know, you don't have a reason for studying because, you know, it's more exciting out in the street. Just run the street, sell a little dope, do a little whatever, you right? At that age, you don't realize until, I think very few of our people in the 6th grade have a real vision of what they want to do and what it would take to get it done. You know, I don't think, I'll put it this way. In the black days, our teachers always told us, you got to be twice as good to do this and that. People might still say that, but they did it. They made sure, you know, they keep you behind after school. They would drag you up, you know, on yeah.
I mean, you hit it on the nail because that's the point where these parents are believing that their children are advanced because the school system tells them their children are advanced. The 6th grader who's reading on a 5th grade level, the school system tells them they're advanced. And the parents are believing that and sending that message to their child. But what the system is really saying is, this advanced means you're a 6th grader reading on a 5th grade level, and it's considered advanced, but it's not really advanced.
Oh no, we understand. You know, Dr. Rosenthal did the one that's quoted all over the world in 1968. In fact, he did it in Oakland. He got a group of teachers together and told them, you're the best teachers in the Oakland Unified School District. Then they took a group of students and they told them, you're the best students here in Oakland, you know. And then they put them together, and within 1 year, they all advanced about 3 years in 1 year, generally. So they went back to them and told them what they had learned from the study, and they said, well, it wasn't difficult because you gave us the best students in Oakland. They had more ability, more. Said, no, we didn't. We chose their name out of a hat. They said, well, it was us. We're the best teachers in Oakland. I said, no, we chose your name out of a hat too. What was it? It was expectation. They're lowering the children's expectations by lowering the parents' expectation. And they handing it on down. And as long as they expect that, that's what they're going to, when they get to go to a university, they're going to say, you can't come in here with them grades, right? You can't come, or even they give them the grades that are commensurate with high school and junior high and all of that. And get in college and they gonna walk right out the side door because